Hi everyone, I'm Saleha, and for those who don't know me, I am a communications professional and I work um, with the Royal Australasian College of Surgeons as a publications lead. I have been in communications for nearly 25 years now. Before coming to Australia, I was working with USAID as their um, manager communications for all of South Asia as part of a green clean energy project. And since I've been in Australia, I have been doing communications, which is internal and external. And I'll explain to you as we go along what exactly I mean by communications and why it is so important for us and how we can get our voices heard. But before we start that, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting tonight. And I pay my elders past, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. So before we start, um, I would like each one of you to tell us something about yourselves. Whether you are on the video or not, it is not important. I just want to hear your voices. And then I sent across a few questions. And if you can just tell me, again, no right and wrong answers, what you feel. Mariam, because you are right next to me, let's start with you. Let's start about, just tell us two sentences. I can see most of you are from Indian Care, but there's Zainab who's not from Indian Care, and it's great for her to get to know who all are participating in this workshop today.
Hi, Zainab. So I work as a community development officer at Indian Care, of course, and I moved to Australia last February, so it's been a year and a few months. Yeah, that's two sentences, I guess.
Okay, thank you. Shruti?
Hi everyone, I'm Shruti. I'm also a community development officer at Indian Care. I've been in Australia for a little over 3 years now. So and I'm looking forward to the sessions. Looking forward to learn how best to communicate the work that we're doing, our different projects, and increase engagement on our social media and other platforms. So thank you.
Great, thanks, Shruti. Zainab, you're next. Zainab, can you hear me? Yes, yeah.
Audible?
Yeah, a little louder, please.
Yes. So my name is Zainab, and I'm from Afghanistan, and I moved to Australia last year on my month of Feb. So it's almost May.
Zainab, sorry, we are losing you.
Can you give me 1 minute? I will try to connect.
Yeah, sure. I'll go to Vasu.
Hi everyone, I'm Vasundhara. I also work at Indian Care. I joined Indian Care 2 years back, and I've been in Australia for more than 7 years. And I'm really excited to join this workshop because we really want to be known in our community. And I think that Indian Care is doing a wonderful job, and we deserve to be seen by our community and also governments and local councils. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Vasu. Zainab, yes, sorry. Are you in the car? Which is why we couldn't hear you. So I
Yes.
hope you've pulled up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I had an appointment. It's supposed to be finished by 1:30, but it's taken longer, so that's why I was on the way.
That's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So my name is Zainab Sakitoda, and as you mentioned, I am joining on behalf of the Bakhtar Community Organization, Afghan community. Like most of their participants are Afghan. And I also moved to Australia in last year in the month of Feb. And I came from India. I was living in 15 years in India. So,
Wow.
yeah. So now I am working as a support worker and trainer in Bakhtar Community Organization, and looking forward to learn many things from this station.
Thank you, Zainab. Shivya?
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm also from Indian Care. I've joined recently in February, and I've been in Australia for a little over 2.5 years And I'm really looking forward to these workshops because we are really focused on social media and community engagement right now. So, looking forward to learn more from you.
Thank you. Nupur?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nupur. I'm also a community development officer with Indian Care. I've joined the I'm joining the organization in August. I'm on a maternity break right now, but really happy to be a part of it and learning before I'm joining. So looking forward to your session on how we can show to people what we do because it's required for people to see within the community, right? The kind of impact you're making
Yeah.
through the program. So, yeah, looking forward to your session. Thank you.
Thanks, Nupur. Big shoes to fill, and I hope I can do justice. Um, Vasu will tell you I am very informal. So if you at any point of time think you can't understand what I'm saying, or you need me to improve on something, please do not hesitate and tell me. Honestly. I mean, I think the only two people who know me, Vasu knows me pretty well because I've been there when Vasu joined, and I think Shruti knows me because Shruti and I have worked together on the newsletters. So before we start, I want to hear what are the key challenges that you face when trying to tell your stories publicly. And I know the work Indian Care is doing, and I know the awesome work Indian Care is doing, and that's what I said to Vasu even this morning. She was very impressed with an annual report that I wrote, and she said it's great to see the work that my workplace is doing. But Indian Care is also doing great work, as is Bhaktar organization, because I can see what Bhaktar does too with refugees and how they get people together and build a cohesive community. But where is it that you feel that your stories are not being heard? And again, no right or wrong answers. It's what is the first thing that you think of? Yeah, Vasu, go for it.
Because we are not, so social media is none of our forte. And yeah, it's the fear that, if we are doing it right or wrong. Yeah, we want to really convey right message, but we struggle with writing script. We struggle with, facing camera, and yeah, so many things.
Okay. Anyone else? Maria?
So for me personally, the biggest discomfort is putting myself out there. I'm okay with writing. I enjoy that part, but like videos, etc. So I am a very camera shy person, and I know that people need to see you, to be able to relate to you, to just for you to be a familiar face and to associate you with a certain organization or with a certain program. But yeah, I've always been that kind of a person, so just putting myself out there, I find it very challenging, and I find all reasons and excuses to get away from it.
Fair enough. I was like you. Zainab, where do you think you're not being able to share? I know Bakhtar does a lot, and I see Harun and Basir always sharing. I get so many emails from you guys about the events that's happening. So where do you think you're not getting, your stories are not being heard? Uh-oh. I don't know if we've lost Zainab. Have we lost you? If you're on the phone, this is one of the problems. Um, but I think that's what's happening because Zainab is on the phone. We keep getting disconnected. I'll come back. Anyone else wants to say?
Yeah.
Shivi?
Um,
Yeah.
sorry,
Shruti,
Shivya,
yeah.
you on.
No, Shruti, go.
For me, I think it's when we are trying to promote our programs, what is the sort of language or, what is the sort of script, like Vasundhara was saying, that we should use to be able to effectively engage the community or have them be interested in our project? Because the project is what it is, and, we want people to come, but what is the most effective messaging or like type of messaging that we can What is a strategy that we can use to, um, attract more participants, whether that's the way we design our flyers or the accompanying text, or any of those other techniques that we can use. So I feel like that's a big one. Like, how do we just get people to be more interested based on what we're putting out on our based on our current messaging, or what could we change in our current messaging that would lead to more people being interested?
Okay, thanks. Understood. Zainab, you want to say uh, why your stories are not being heard?
Uh, Actually, because the big issue which we are facing, it's we cannot tell the other person a story through to our platform, something like that. If we have that opportunity, the person could come and say their story. It's a one thing. For me, especially, I don't feel very shy in front of camera or something like that. But the contents of writing, it's a difficult for me because I feel that if you're make that story in that way that people are showing that okay, it seems really interesting, it's really good, because somehow most of the time I feel like when I read the story of others, I will feel that okay, it's really common that we all facing. But when if you have the story in that way that oh, it's really interesting and the people also get more attention on that, these things we are lacking actually.
Okay. Shivya, you wanted to say something?
No, I just feel sometimes people are so busy in their lives, they just don't have the time to listen to what organizations like ours have to offer. So it's about reiterating what Shruti said about the correct type of messaging which can resonate more with them. So maybe something on those lines.
Okay. Nupur, you want to say something?
So for me, I feel I get lost in ensuring how to keep the story authentic while sharing it. And also, if we have different stakeholders, how do we change the messaging for each one, or have a broader messaging that reaches different kind of stakeholders and have the same kind of impact. So get stuck in these two aspects usually.
Okay. Thank you. One of the things is, please know that we just need to tell a story. We need to tell a story in simple everyday language, not because we are multicultural, but because that's the way people write, that's the way people understand. The first thing I was taught in communications, and this is something I keep telling everybody, is people read like an F. Treat your readers as if they are 12 years old. So write accordingly. Big words are out. No big words, simple everyday words. What I'm going to do is I will send you links when I'm sending the Word document about what we discussed. I will send you the link to my website, which I do. Um, Read, there are lots of medical and surgical words, but when you read it, it's just everyday language that you use, something the way you and I speak. We don't use big words anymore, and people read like an F. So can you visualize the alphabet F? The first line should convey everything you want to say. The date, Vasu, don't worry, I'm recording all of this. I'll send it to you. Okay. Yeah. The first line should be, and the first paragraph should be the most important piece of news that you want to convey. Whether it's an event that will happen, whether it is something that has happened. So date, time, all of that is very important. The second paragraph is again, talk about what you're doing. Especially the sports one that you're now doing. It is so good. And you need more people. You're talking about men's wellness, which is so good. These are things we never talk about. As you go down, people, thanks to Reels and Insta and everything else, people's concentration and reading abilities have lessened so much. And it is the way that the world is, you can't blame anyone. So the first two paragraphs, most important ones. And the rest, I will tell you. So, Vasu, I'm going to ask you as a manager of Indian Care, Indian Care does so much of good work, yet you're not represented in the media unless I write about it. And that's because I'm pushy. I will go and tell people, this is what is done, this is what is done. I will write. And so why is it, do you think, that media doesn't come to you?
I think we don't invite them in first place. I think, and
Okay.
I'm not sure if we have a ongoing relationship with the media. And if there are other reasons, then I'm unaware of those reasons.
Okay, fair enough. Zainab, what do you think? Do you have enough media representation in the events that Bakta does?
Actually, yes, we do, because we are much like connected with many media. So yes.
Yep, you do have.
Mhm.
Okay. So have any of you written a media release? No. Have you written one, Zainab? No. Okay. So I will teach you how to write a media release. And
I
again,
have
I'm
written
going
one
to,
in my previous organization in India, not in Australia yet.
sorry, I don't know who's speaking because I can't see you. Nupur, was that you?
No, yes, that's me.
Okay,
I'm
all
saying
right.
I've written a
Okay,
press
so
release in
yeah,
the past, but in India, not in Australia.
fair enough. It's a press release. Okay. So what exactly in this workshop are you looking to build? Are you looking to build, understand how to write clearly, understand media formats, speaking confidently? What kind of training do you want? I will go now from, let's start from Zainab because she's at the bottom of my screen, and then I'll go Shivya and everybody else. Okay. What do you hope to achieve from this?
How to start? Like I really from my side, I don't feel like low confidence. I have that much, but I don't have idea from where I have to start it. It's really like I have many things in my mind, but from which part I have to
Yep.
start it, it's a really like big question for me.
Fair enough, which is what I'm going to teach you.
Great.
Shivya, what about you?
Yep. So I've not written for media per se, so I intrinsically don't know how to connect with people through writing. I've written research papers and all, but like forming an emotional bond with people through
Yep,
stories and just storytelling and all that. Yeah.
fair enough. Vasu?
Yeah, I would like to know media release, what it means, and how to release, of course.
And
And
how to
then,
write it? Yep.
yes, and how to write it. And also, what are the protocols in the media industry? I mean, how do we approach them? What they expect from us if we are organizing any event, and how things, because I know in past the different newspaper who wrote about us, there were some mistakes, then we had to go and correct them. So how do we avoid those things, and how do we put the right message across? And I know that a new article came about our men's circle, but the media person refused to verify, first get it verified by us. So what actually, what we can actually request the media person, what we can't, and what are the protocols? So that's another thing that I would really like to understand. And confidence, definitely. I mean, I know that more we work on our videos and all, we'll develop that. So but more
Absolutely.
technical stuff I'm looking to understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nupur?
I think Vasu has covered pretty much everything that should be looking forward to from the session. Working with an organization. For me, I'm quite new to the Australian market, so how all of this, actually translates or things to be looking towards while working in this market, I would want to know that if I'm approaching a media person, how to go about it, how do you build that, maintain a relation, build a relation, ensure that they carry your story in the right way. Like the messaging has to be how I said it, right? A lot of times you say
Yep,
something
yep,
and something else gets carried into the paper. So
yep.
ensuring that.
Shruti?
That's pretty much it.
Yep. Thanks, Nupur.
I think for me, sorry. Yeah, I think for me it
No,
would
no.
be what does effective storytelling look like? And more confidence in my writing. I think that, like Shivya said, the last couple of years, a lot of the writing that I've done has been very academic, and I find it like, so if I have to write a blog or if I have to write a post, how do I, how can I write it in such a way that I'm connecting with people or that message resonates with people? I feel like that's something that I really want to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maria?
Yeah, so building on what Shruti said, so what are some of the things you keep in mind while you're creating a feature, like be it visual or written? Like, like
Yeah.
you said that in the first paragraph itself, just include everything that's important. So what are some of the rules of, let's say, creating a masterpiece or, something that
Yeah.
that works? So some of the things to keep in mind, like, which are sort of standard for videos and blogs, etc.
Okay. So, how many of you are confident talking to journalists? No? Media releases are all about storytelling. And you share a personal story or story of someone who you know, and especially in the work that Indian Care does, it is a bit difficult. You can change names. But, when you're conducting wellness programs, your yoga program, Vasu, your men's helpline, I'm not saying family violence because that's something that we don't want to talk about. Get somebody to say something good about how it has affected them. Doing yoga classes, you've done it at a time where, women can go, women and men can go. Men's help, what are you calling this? Sorry, the men's wellness program that you're having in the western suburbs?
The Namaste Network.
Yeah, the Namaste Network. So talk about that. Get first of all, forget about being shy. I've done it. So it's not that I am media savvy. I'm not. But I was interviewed recently by SBS. Believe me, they gave me 3 minutes. They texted me. I didn't see it for an hour. Then they called. Then when I saw it, I responded. She called me up, and then she said, "We want to talk about this." And then she said, "I'm going to the studio and I'll call you." And she gave me 3 minutes, no preparation, nothing, and I had to just keep talking. And out of that, they took precisely 3 minutes of a 15-minute conversation. So that is going to happen. But we'll start somewhere. So the wellness program that you conduct is typically in the West. So we will go and look for e-magazines and newspapers which are in the West, one of them being Indian Sun. So I want to be able, after this workshop is over, for you guys to write a media release, do it combined as Indian Care, and go to and give it to Indian Sun and say, this is what we've done, and I will teach you how to write it. It is not difficult. And Zainab, with you too, last program that you had, I had invited a few of my media contacts. I think most of them came. I couldn't go because there was a last minute emergency and I had to back out. But I have introduced Harun to also people, and I will also introduce you to people. You anyway have a very good media presence. And I know the Dandenong Star carries a lot about you guys and the work that you're doing. So what I'm going to do today is we have exactly half an hour. I'm going to tell you what communication is. And again, I'm just opening the Word document. I've written it in English, which I'm sure you will all understand. I've written it in very plain, simple English. So what exactly is communication? What it means is that, every day we are surrounded by stories, messages, news, videos, social media posts. And this comes to us from various sources. It comes to us from websites, from newsletters are my favorite, as both Shruti and Vasu will know, and how I am obsessed with newsletters because it is short, it's snappy. I do my newsletters in 30 words, no more, because I want people to visit the website. At the end of the day, that's where you want people to go. But we'll talk about it more. The goal for us is to inform people, and most of our audiences we don't know. Some we know, but some we don't know. And I will tell you how we don't know people, because Indian came and sent the newsletter to me, and I will forward it to somebody else. So you don't know who the second audience is, and then that person will forward it to the third person and the fourth person. So your audience reach is growing. Like when I know Indian Care is doing some work, and I know this is important, say in the western suburbs, I automatically forward it to my contacts in the western suburbs. When I know for a fact that when Bakhtar has any kind of events, they send me an email and I forward it to everybody that I know. So it is pointless for me to forward it to people who live in the north to attend a Bakhtar community event which is happening in the southeast, because time is of essence. So you need to know, if you're having events, and you need to convey that message where and how it is happening. We are talking about sharing information and ideas to many people at once, using tools that can reach a wide audience. This can be newsletters, it can be writing a story on a website, or in today's world, creating a social media post. But remember, we are not journalists, because journalists do news in real time. It's authentic and they're reporting in real time, whereas we as communicators do not do this. When we are sending our events, whether they have happened, mostly after they have happened, unless we have invited journalists. And Vasu, I did, if I know there is an Indian Care event that is happening, I will invite journalists. And we have been written about in the Indian Sun, for a 10th anniversary dinner. We were written about that. Then the camaraderie dinner, I wrote about that. I always send journalists to Bakhtar when I know this is an event. So even when you send a media release to many media houses, how do you know? You have to just go through the internet and look for media houses. 9 out of 10 times, they will not pick it up. But even if one media house picks it up, that's a start. So, send it to SBS Hindi, SBS English. And I always invite people. In whatever capacity I work in, I always invite journalists, because I think it's very good for journalists and the whole community to understand the work that we are doing. And it is good work. It's not like I'm not saying fashion show. It's not like we are not influencers. We are actually workers who are doing good for the community. Please stop me if you don't understand, if I'm going too fast. Unless you stop me, I'm just thinking what I'm saying is correct. So stop me.
I had
Yeah.
a question.
Yes, Nupur,
So,
please ask.
is there like in India, there is PTI. PTI carries the news, and all the other newspapers or channels carry the news forward as is, saying source PTI. So in Australia, do we have any such newspaper or agency?
Well, we won't go through agencies. We will go directly to media houses. So let's look at multicultural media first. SBS should be your first point of call. You must go to Indian Sun, because they are for the wider South Asian community, but predominantly Indian news. You must go to them, write a media release, tell them what you're doing, and they will carry it. If you decide to do a podcast, a video podcast, Basu, send it to them, record it, send it to them. They will carry it. You have a lot, and all your media houses, you have small multicultural media houses all over Melbourne and Victoria. So suppose you're having something in the north, look for a multicultural media house in the north. Again, Indian Sun will be the best because they are encompassing all of Victoria and all of Australia. So that can be a starting point for you. Then look at SBS. SBS has news in every single language. Hindi, Dari, Pashto, Urdu, you name it, Punjabi, whichever language you are comfortable with. But when you're sending it to the Indian Sun, we do it in English because that's what it predominantly is. If you're sending it to SBS, then you do it in whichever language you're comfortable in. So what to keep in mind when we share a message? So as I said, our audience is unknown and it is diverse. It's different ages, it's genders, and it's different cultures. And we need to choose the right platform for a message. So it should be a newsletter, website, or social media, like I said. We should also match our communications to the medium. So if you're doing an Insta post, you cannot have a big, website content. You have to make it very short and snappy. So this is something I want to ask you. Social media is how the world is evolving. A lot of people get news from social media, rightly or wrongly, I don't know. And we are not going into that. What I want to know is, I do have someone who is a social media expert. Do you think having her for this workshop, not today, but maybe next one, or even in July, if we have her and she teaches you how to do Insta posts, how to do Facebook posts, how to do LinkedIn posts, and what are the differences? Will it help you? It will?
Yes.
Yes.
Really helpful.
Yes. Okay. So I will get her, and I've already spoken to her. I've also told her that I will speak with you guys before I, get her across, and she can teach you if you have any questions. So I'm thinking we can have her in July, and we can do the 11th July, 3 to 4 p.m., the training that we have. Maybe we do social media then. Because the next session, I want to talk to you about website writing, newsletter writing, and that will take a chunk of time, and how you write, and I'll send you links so that you know. So maybe 11th July, if I get a social media person for you guys who will tell you exactly how you write social media. If any of you are on social media, have a look at my LinkedIn profile. It's just my name, and see, some of my social media are great. You never know what works and what doesn't work. Personal stories are always a big hit. So always, people love stories, We always have, my video podcast is called Chai Chat and Community, because people love chatting. Whether we like it or not, people love chatting, and people will share their stories. Change names if you have to. So today, I thought we can just keep it at this. I will send you what the key features of communications are. I will send you what a newsletter is, what website is. It's all going to be my work because I don't want to send other people's work. I can tell you now what I do. So I do the website writing for my magazine. Have a look at that. So that all of last year, I think the open rate was 68%. The industry average is 34. So somewhere I am doing something right. If I put, I'm going to just, all right. I'm putting a website address here. Bear with me while I do it. And I want you to go and have a look at that while. So it is. Sorry, fat fingers. Can you go to private chat, which is on your right, and click on this link? Have you got that? Yeah. Can you see the carousel that on top? The first one says meet our new and elected RACS councillors. I'm pasting it again in case. Have you seen that? The first one? If you click on that link, just click on that link for me, please. Have a look at the number of shares, which is on your left. It says, can you see that? I have no idea who shared it. But do you know what that's done to the website and the engagement? So, as I said, nobody knows who's sharing it. I didn't share it. I just wrote it and I put it there. And then somebody shared it. I just put it on LinkedIn. Have a look at another one. So go back and look at, there is one called Dr. Toki's UK Fellowship, Advancing Cancer Care. Have a look at that. Not everything will get a large number of shares. Somebody will share it, and then that's got 70 shares. So it's what you write, who you write about. And when you write about a particular person, we all love ourselves. We will share it. So I would share it once. No, sorry. I share it twice when I do the newsletter and when I put it on LinkedIn. But after that, I have no idea who is sharing it. So you really don't know who your audience is. But you write in such a way that everybody understands and they keep sharing. Oh, thank you, Shivya. Yes, I will connect with you. I saw that you, yeah. So, and I'm not saying everything I write is shared 200 times. It isn't. But one surgeon, he writes, he's a regular contributor. He is now a retired plastic surgeon. Earlier this year, we found one article was shared 1,100 times. He's 80 years old. He's like, I'm not on LinkedIn. I don't post. Nobody knows who shared it, but somebody did 1,100 times. We couldn't believe it.
What was the article about?
He writes all about plastic surgery and the work that he does. So I'll tell you who he is. I'm going to put it in the chat, okay? Bear with me. This is not the one that was shared, but I'll show you what he writes. Any questions, please keep asking while I'm here. Because obviously my website is totally different to what any of you have. So I also have a very good, what's it called? I have a very good designer, and the images that she puts in are really, really good. I'm just trying to look for that, what this surgeon writes. He writes for every issue. Bear with me. Where is it? Okay, I'll share that with you, Vasu. I can't find her. Can't find him. He's around because he writes. Have a look at this. This is very interesting. What I'm putting in the chat. Have a read. Just the heading does everything sometimes. And I'm going to find Felix. Okay, this is not the one that was shared. It was the one that was shared was 2023, but people shared it last year. So the one I sent before, Lisa Brown, she's a space scientist. She is a surgeon who works in space, and that's a deadly combination. Vasu, in response to your question, the one that I shared just now. So he is the person, he's an ex plastic surgeon. One of his articles from 2023 was shared 1,100 times. So you never know what people like, this one. Nobody's even shared once, and he doesn't share. But others share. So I will send you for the next one. We'll talk about media. First, we'll talk about website. We'll talk about newsletters, and then we'll talk about media releases. So that should cover one hour. And what I'll do is, like I'm going to send you a Word document just now, at 4 o'clock maybe. And then I'll send it to you. You can read through it. It's basically a recap of what we have done, maybe a little bit more. If you want me to do anything different, please let me know. I will also send you some examples of media releases and how you can write it. Questions, people?
When you share the so when we work on say media releases in the session, will we also be writing it and showing you also, just to
please, yes, that will be great, because as I said, we are all learning. Sometimes media releases work, sometimes they don't, but maybe at the end of the day you will have. Let's do one thing. After we do the media release session, which is going to be on the 27th, and I'll send you a copy of a media release. I did not write it, but it is about me, which is why I'm comfortable sharing it. You will get an idea of how to write media releases. It came to me for approval. And Vasu, you have to, when people, and Shruti, even you, when media houses are writing about you, you must tell them that unless you are writing it yourself, you want to vet what they're writing, because you want the right information going out. That is the most important thing. You need the right information to go out, not the other way around. If people are writing about me, unless it's spoken, because then you can't go wrong, then you want people to run it past you.
And we can demand that from them?
Absolutely. You don't demand, you request. Yeah.
I requested, but that was not accepted. So now, should it come as a demand or should it come as a request?
No, that if you invite anyone to write about any event that you're having, you invite a journalist and you say, you should say, I'd request before you put it up to just run it past me. What we are going to do is after our media workshop in 2 weeks' time, or no, nearly 3 weeks' time, I want you to all write one media release each for the work that you're doing, and we are going to send it to Indian Sun. Let's do that.
Mhm.
How does that sound? So, what will you? What is happening? Say in June that you can share. Anything that you're doing?
Sports, we can.
Yeah, that's a good. I love this sports thing. Yeah, who's leading sports?
No one is leading sports, but yeah, there are. I mean, people are working in different catchment areas, and then they are
Yep.
the leading or the contact person in
Yep.
that
Perfect.
catchment. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's do sports. Let's do sports for the next one. Yeah, and we send it to the Indian Sun, and then that's a start. And then we'll see what all they carry for us. Then, are you having anything in the next 1 month?
No, not really.
Okay, but when is the next one that you're having?
Maybe after July.
Fair enough. We'll send it in July.
Okay.
Or we send it in August. We are still going to be talking media. We'll be doing, and again, when I get this person in July, she's a colleague of mine. We are going to just ask her, how do we showcase our events on Facebook? Because Facebook audience is different. In Facebook is for old people like me. Insta audience is for young people like you. I have Insta, but I barely ever do it. Then LinkedIn is for professionals. So every single medium has to be in a different voice, and that's what we are going to be teaching. So when I get this person for you, I want you to ask as many questions. Write it down, make it worth your while. Say, this is what I want to learn. So we cover everything. Okay, any more questions before we go today? Oh my God, I'm thinking I'm really good. Okay, okay. I'm going to stop recording now. Don't go. I'm just going to stop the recording.